What's good everyone, it's Adam from Music Mogul and welcome to another remake video. In this one we're going to go ahead and remake a track by Travis Scott, Young Thug and M.I.A. franchise, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's change our tempo to 155 beats per minute. And we're going to start off with that airy pad that we hear throughout the entire record. We're going to bring in Logic's Alchemy for this sound. We're going to go to pads and we're going to bring in a preset called the Air Choir Sweep. Let's go ahead and draw in that pattern and then adjust the sound from there. Alright, so there's the pattern right over there. Let's just go ahead and just turn this into a simple chord. Let me pitch this up one octave. Add in some reverb, and maybe we'll just clean it up by adding in some EQ here. Now we're just going to find a spot where it really rings out because we want to make it like an airy type of pad. So I'm going to pull this up like this. I'm going to make our cue small. I'm going to pull it up quite a bit here. Alright, so it rings somewhere there. I'm just going to widen up our cue. You kind of get like this windy pad type of sound. Next, let's go ahead and create a new softer instrument track. And we're going to bring in that or create that bass 808 from scratch. We're going to go to Logic's Retro Synth, and we're going to go over to a bass preset, and the bass preset we're going to work with is the Big Tooth bass. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's go ahead and just draw in that pattern. It's going to go something like this. I'm just going to duplicate that over. Let's go open up our bass, bass sound right over here. I'm going to turn our shape 2 to be a triangle. Make it nice and loud there. I'm going to add in some chorus. And I'm just going to bring down our decay right here. Maybe I'll bring up some sine level to get some low end. Alright, let's bring some of the top end out of this sound here. We're going to bring in Logic's Exciter. And I think I'm going to pull it down here. I'm going to pull up the harmonics. Alright, let's go ahead and add in a little bit of distortion on this sound here. That just makes it a little bit fatter. And let's mold this sound a little bit more with a little bit of EQ work. And take a little bit of the top end out. Make it a little bit darker sounding. Maybe I'll push the mid a little bit up here as well. now we got our 808 sound there. It's nice and wide bass there. Next, let's go and create a new software instrument track. And let's bring in a drum kit I made for this tutorial. Let's go to, where is it here? Let's go to the franchise drum kit. There it is right there. Kept missing it. And let's draw in our first snare. It's gonna go like this, change this to 32 steps. Right there. Let's go ahead and draw in our clap. Change this to 32 steps. Alright, next let's go ahead and create a pattern region. Let's put in a hi-hat pattern. Just a simple two-step type of pattern. Let's go ahead and bring in our crash, create a pattern region. Change this over to 32 steps, and it's going to go like this. Alright, next bring in our second snare over here. We'll create a pattern region. Change this over to 32 steps once again. 32 steps. Let's go and put in that kick pattern over there. Can't talk today. Change this over to 32 steps. Alright, so there's our kick pattern. Next, we got to get in those gunshots. So I'm going to create a pattern region on this one. And it's the closest sound I could find to the original one in the track. We're going to change this over to a 16T right over here. I'm going to change this over to 32 steps as well. Do something like that. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit longer. I'm going to go to 64 steps. Take these out. Alright, so there's a pattern right there, except the velocity is a little bit too much here. So we're going to go change up the velocity so it's not so robotic. Alright, and then what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and cut this in half. We're going to duplicate this over, open that up, and for our first, we're going to take this out actually. Change this up a little bit, it just goes. Take out this last 3 over here. So there's the foundation to the beat. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this over. And in here, we're going to go ahead and bring in an alarm sound I found on YouTube. I actually do believe this is actually the one that was used in the track itself. Because the alarm was a little bit offbeat, I just dragged it in and it just worked on the exact same offbeatness that it was. So let's go ahead and bring in that alarm sound and drag it in right here. Just gonna put it on the 1. And like I said, it's offbeat, but it's like pretty much exactly the way it was in the original track. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna bring in an EQ. It's gonna filter out the low end here just to take out some of that. And we're going to add in a reverb as well. Let's go to the Logic Space Designer. All right, next let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track, and we're going to put in like a vocal chant in there. Let's go over to this, create a region. And once again, we're going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. And we're going to go over to vocals, and we're going to go to a preset called choir gains. Let's go ahead and put that that note in right here. It's just one note. take out a little bit of the bottom end as well. All right, next is going to open up Alchemy. I'm just going to bring up the volume a bit so it's a little louder, all the way. All right, there's that right there. Next, we're going to take all this, we're going to duplicate that once again. And we're going to create a new software instrument track, and we're going to start adding a sort of like a vocal, female vocal chant in the background. Once again, we're going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. And we're going to go to a preset. We're going to go to vocals, and we're going to go all the way down to a vocal preset called, I believe it was called Vocals in the Cloud. Where is it here? There it is right there. Let's go and load that in, and let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. This is going to come out. We're going to get this right here, sort of like a female choir. Let's go ahead and draw on that pattern. I'm going to duplicate that over, and I'm going to open up an EQ, and let's just make this a lot darker sounding. All right, next, I'm going to create a new instrument track. Once again, we're bringing another instance of Alchemy, and we're going to go over to vocals, and we're going to bring in another preset called Dark Synth Choir. Just going to close that up. We're going to copy down this same pattern over here, and it's going to go something like this. Once again, we got to make this nice and dark, so let's go and do that right now. Create another instance of a new software instrument track. Really cannot talk today. We're going to load up Logic's Alchemy once again. We're going to go over to vocals, and we're going to go to Choir Girls preset right over here. And I'm going to copy down the same pattern over here. Whoa, not down there. Let's bring that back. Go over here. And we're just really focused on the high end right here. Take out a little bit of the top end as well. A lot of layers here. Next, going to create a new software instrument track. And we're going to layer it one more time with Logic's Alchemy. And we're going to go over once again to vocals, and I believe the preset was called Breath of Inspiration. Let's copy down this pattern over here. This is just going to add texture to our beat right now. But we're just going to focus on the high end as well. we're gonna go out of this. And then let's go ahead and duplicate this over once again. And we're gonna go ahead and take out this choir, but we're gonna add in another high-pitched lead sound that will work in the different parts throughout the record. So we're gonna create a new software instrument track. And once again, if you get the idea, we're gonna open up Logic's Alchemy. And once again, we're gonna go over to vocals. And for this preset, we're gonna use, what are we gonna use? We're gonna use the Cosmic Boys Choir right over here. Let's go ahead and draw in that sound. Put it with our main bass sound. Sorry, our main pad sound. It's gonna go something like this. Just duplicate that over. Once again, we got to make this dark sounding and sort of very scary sounding. So let's go ahead and take out a lot of low end. Going to really make this resonate out. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so there is the foundation to the beat. I'm just going to go ahead and listen to the original track, and we're going to come back and it's going to be all arranged. Alright, so we're back. I arranged the track for all of us here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the rig we just put together, Franchise by Travis Scott featuring Young Thug and M.I.A. Let's go. Alright, so there is the beat right there, Travis Scott's track, Franchise featuring Young Thug and M.I.A. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and place this entire session for you guys, place it as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit and sound effects that I've used in this remake. You can find that playback down below as well. If you do have any questions on this or just want to chat, let's go and talk down in the description box below this video. If you did like this video, remember hit that like button as it does help out the channel, and of course hit that subscribe button for more good videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later.